Earlier in the program, we mentioned the major victories for conservatives in yesterday's off-year elections, including that historic win for Tea Party favorite Matt Bevin, who will be Kentucky's next governor. Meantime, way out west in San Francisco, Sheriff Ross Mercarimi got the boot after supporting the city's sanctuary city policy following the murder of Kate Steinle by an illegal alien. So, how do these two victories and others across the nation set the tone for the 2016 election? For more, let's turn to our panel. First, from Newsmax Washington, Republican strategist Ford O'Connell. And Skyping in from Tampa, Democratic media strategist and the Vice President of KCOM Public Relations, Franco Ripple. Before we get to the political news, late this afternoon, U.S. intelligence officials seem to back what the British intelligence officials were saying earlier today, that a bomb on that Russian jetliner may have come from ISIS. If this is true, Franco, how might it impact the administration's strategy in the Mideast?
Well, it certainly will put everything on heightened alert. It means that ISIS is taking to more conventional, let's say, terrorism tactics like bombing airliners, and that's something that should give everyone concern. And it's a reason why I think the Obama administration has remained strong on terrorism provisions that were put in place since the Bush administration, and this administration remains vigilant. And I know that there are some things we could be doing better with the TSA, but we have to remember that, as far as I know, this jetliner originated from a foreign airport. So I feel like something like this is very unlikely to occur with American Airlines security. Let's hope.
Interesting. Franco almost talks about a bipartisan.
I don't think this means very much for the administration, JD. I don't think they want to do anything in the Middle East, and they're going to do as little as possible. It's unfortunate 224 people died. What I hope this does is light a fire under Putin's behind, and he gets out there and drills ISIS into the ground. At least somebody hopefully will stand up to these folks.
So maybe ratcheting things up for the Russians, we'll see. Meantime, back here in this country, let's talk about the off-year elections. Franco, not a good night for the progressives in terms of city ordinances in places like Houston and, of course, that reliably Democratic state of Kentucky, at least in terms of governor's elections. Your reaction, is it going to mean trouble for the left come 2016?
Not even a little bit, and here's why. And of course, that's a predictable response, but seriously, here's why. Anyone who follows politics closely, and not just at the presidential level in presidential years, but at the very granular state-by-state level, can tell you that in off years, which this is an off year, meaning in most cases it's not even a gubernatorial election year, it's just an off year, it's not a presidential year either, turnout among Democrats plummets. And that's it. I will say, I think it's in large part due to us not having great democratic infrastructure to turn out our voters when it's not a presidential year. We as a party nationally have to do better at that, and I think we'll continue to do so. Republicans are great at turning out their base voters all the time. That's what happens here. So I don't think there's anything to worry about when Hillary Clinton is running for president next year.
All right. Oh, I absolutely disagree with you. Forget turnout here. Polling was all over the map, Franco. Let's be honest here. We didn't know who was going to win what. And let me say something else. People are angry at the political system. They're angry at career politicians. And frankly, people of faith are tired of government coercion. So I do agree with you, in a presidential election, the turnout will be higher and more diverse. But frankly, a lot of folks on the progressive side think their stuff doesn't stink. And guess what? The American people may push it back in 2016.
Well, continuing on that theme, hang on, guys, let me get to one point about this. Ben Carson, on his book tour in Florida, he showed up at Tallahassee yesterday, 2,000 people. Ford, he's drawing these large crowds, further demonstrations of his front-runner status?
I would agree with that. Here's what I judge Ben Carson by, because I think he's a unique character. The one thing he does have is the highest net likability of anyone in the Republican field. And if he can continue to demonstrate in hypothetical head-to-head with Hillary Clinton that he can win like the latest Quinnipiac poll, he very well could go the distance and become the nominee.
Well, speaking of Hillary, Franco, let's talk about the latest poll from Quinnipiac. And it's interesting taking a look at the head-to-head matchup, Hillary versus some of the Republicans. According to Quinnipiac, Ben Ben Carson beats Hillary by 10 points, 50 to 40%. Marco Rubio prevails, 46 to 41. Ted Cruz prevails by 3 points, 46-43. And Chris Christie over Hillary Clinton, 46-41. Franco, she's got some challenges, does she not?
I don't think so, because Ford said it great just a moment ago. I'm going to agree with my friend, the Republican, because polling is all over the place, especially a year out. Guys, we are a year out yesterday from the election. I don't think she has anything to worry about. Frankly, no one has anything to worry about just yet. Even Jeb Bush still has time to fix it. So to speak.
I disagree with you, Franco. I think she does have a lot to worry about. She has character issues. 60% think she's dishonest and untrustworthy. And let me tell you something else, which Fred Yang, a Democratic pollster, pointed out earlier this week. People's opinions of Hillary Clinton are already hardened.
All right,
so
let's
it's already decided which way they're going to go.
Let me
the
go
only
to
question is who the Republicans put up.
Let me go to somebody else who elicits a lot of opinion. Donald Trump. The other day at a campaign stop, going after Marco Rubio, questioning the Florida senator's financial history.
He has a very bad record of finances. If you look at what happened with his houses, with his, he certainly lives above his means. There's no question about that.
All right, guys, 15 seconds each. First to you, Ford. Trump attacking Marco. Does he see Rubio as the up-and-comer?
Absolutely wants to cut his knees out before he gets momentum, because the one thing that Marco Rubio can do and hurt Donald Trump is win New Hampshire, and his likability is through the roof up there with Ben Carson's.
All right, Franco Ripple, final 15 to you.
This is nothing new to people who have been watching Marco Rubio in Florida for a long time. There's a lot more coming. This may not have worked for every candidate who used it against Marco, but it is a dangerous issue. How is he going to handle a $17 trillion economy? Big question.
Franco Ripple in Tampa. Ford O'Connell at Newsmax, Washington. Gentlemen, we thank you both for your time. After the break, why are so many middle-aged white Americans dying? Lisa Palmer and Nick Tate will answer that when we come back.